Hi.
Hello. Arigato. No. Hello, everybody.
Hello, what's up?
I'm Darfius.
And I'm Tara.
And you're watching
Serial
Movies.
So we continue our Oscar countdown with the next movie, probably one of the most talked about movies in the
2019,
season.
yes.
It's called 1917, a movie by Sam Mendes. Whoop whoop. So a bit about the movie. It was released in December of 2019 in London, and the director is Sam Mendes. If you have known, one of his work is Skyfall.
During film festival or in cinema?
I'm not sure. I
They
think
release.
it's cinema.
In cinema, okay.
Yeah. So usually we don't mention this, but this time I think we have to mention the director of photography, Roger Deakins. He is the one that make the idea of one shot.
Film. Yeah, I mean
A
like
one shot, a reality. Yeah. So in honor of that, we will try to make this as a one shot.
Yeah.
No cuts, except for seriously. We'll try. Babe.
why they're not following me? Oh, we have to do it in sitting down. Alright.
Yeah. So yes. So let's try to say the right thing every time.
Alright.
Okay. Okay. So the cast of this movie, we all know George McKay. We did a review on one of the movies that he acted in, Captain Fantastic, and he was fantastic in it. And in this one, he was also fantastic. And Dean Charles Chapman, we may have known him as our King Tommen.
Oh, he's the guy who dies in every movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He
I
also
know.
dies in The King with
Yeah.
him alongside Timothy Chalamet. Pretty much a stupid death.
Yeah, by being a prince as well, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's just a bad voodoo on him. I'm not sure.
All right, then a few more famous cameos by Richard Madden,
You must know
Benedict
him.
Cumberbatch, Colin Firth, and Andrew Scott. So this movie, 1917, has 10 nominations across the board.
That's
and
just
that,
crazy.
Yeah, and that is amazing. So I mean, no wonder it's one of the most talked about movies.
True. I mean,
in
like
the
both
season.
of the actors was really new in the industry.
Quite
So
new,
quite
somewhat
new.
new.
Yeah, somewhat new. Like even the big cast in the movie, they didn't play a big part in the movie.
They're just like small cameos and supporting roles.
Yeah, so everything about the movie, like you should be amazed by the amount of nomination they get for Oscars
Yes.
because everything, I think it was kind of simple, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 10 nominations that they snatch are best sound editing, best sound mixing, best visual effects, best original score, best production design, best makeup and hairstyling, best cinematography, of course, best original screenplay, best director, and best picture. That is very tiring to say. That is a long list.
True. Imagine if they won all of it.
Oh my
They need to get
God.
up 10 times. I mean,
Oh
different
my
person
God.
has it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is 10.
Mm.
Lord of the Ring won how much?
11.
11 awards.
Yeah. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
the most of Oscar winning of all time.
Mm-hmm.
He and another movie.
Yeah.
You maybe heard of Ben-Hur. Both of them share the title of winning the most Oscars. Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
they won't make it because they have 10.
Yeah.
But that's
However,
a lot.
if even they're nominated for 10, and that is a lot. Imagine if they win all of them. That is a lot.
True.
Because they also won Best Picture in the Golden Globe in the drama category, and Sam Mendes, their director, also won the Best Director title at the Golden Globes. And they also have won some multiple awards, and especially directing awards and cinematography awards at other awards that are going on lately because it's award season. So anyways, the movie is very simple. It's about two soldiers who had to deliver a very important message that could stop that is to stop an attack from happening, because that can be very bad for them. I mean, like if they don't deliver the message, 1600 people will possibly die because the Germans have set up the strategy to get them.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, the plot of the movie is just one small part of the story in the history. Like the big war that happened during the Germans. They are just one of that small history. They just need to deliver a message to save maybe for some people they said that's a small number, but the journey that they do
Yes,
was
yes,
very
to
hard.
save 1600. But yeah, 1600 is actually a lot for
Mm.
in war. So it brings them more motivation because one of them has a brother in that battalion that they have to send a message to, and it's a journey for them to go through the no man's land. um and that's crazy. They encounter many adventures, many events happen on their journey, and in the end, Schofield was the one who finished the job. Yay! So
Let's be clear, like this movie, if you just hear the storyline that we talk about it, it
it's
sounded
very
not
boring.
interesting. But the thing that
Yeah,
makes it interesting, yeah, because of the camera
is
angle.
we never mentioned this, but this movie, I think we have to talk about the cinematography. Yes, we have to praise the movie for making this to be a very immersive experience using the one shot technique. Everyone who have watched the movies, everybody we talked to about this movie will tell you that they're very impressed by the movie because we felt like we are there. We move with them, alongside them in the movie through their adventures, and that
Yeah,
is very amazing, and it's amazing experience. You don't really get that a lot.
like the camera angle is very close to the characters.
Like he said, the storyline was very simple.
Mm.
However, what makes it great is how they tell the story.
Yeah,
Right?
like when they explode, if I get a heart attack, I already died. Because it felt like very close.
Yeah.
A lot of movies scene have a close scene, but this one they make it like you were there. So yeah, it's almost like you're playing VR. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
ask me, but you're actually just watching a movie, which is
Yep.
great.
So shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay. Now moving on to the actor's performance. What do you think about it?
Actor's performance, I think Josh McKay, his face, I mean, like his appearances, like he belongs to that timeline. I mean, he looks
He is a bit of an old school person.
Yeah.
He didn't even have social media.
really, he doesn't have social
don't.
media. Yeah, I don't know him personally. Of course, I don't
I
know him
wish
personally.
I know him personally.
Like, I don't know. I didn't follow his. Yeah, he doesn't have any social media account.
You don't. He
Oh
used to
yeah,
have
then
Facebook in school.
nobody in the world can get to know him except by the interviews. But I think by the way I see him, I like his appearances that he belongs to 1917. So he looks old. He doesn't look old. I mean, he looks old school like back then. And I mean, in the movie when he have a sad scene or when he was panic scene, I love it that he does it without exaggerating at everything. Like his emotions in the movie, like when he just sick of the war or he just sick, he just need to follow his friends doing it, he just want to sleep or anything. Usually you watch a movie, you see a soldier, I fight for my country, I'll do everything. But no, I just want to be safe and just want to go home. He's that kind of army in this movie. So yeah, I like his originality, and I love his clear voice tone. Like when he speaks, it's very clear, even though he was whispering. Maybe
Okay.
it's
It's a
the
technique
word.
lah. There is
It's
a technique
it's
to
a
it.
technique. Maybe it's the word of the sound editor. But yeah, I think he is very good at that. So yeah, how about you?
Well, for me, both Dean Charles Chapman and George McKay did a very good job, and I applaud their effort because it requires commitment to rehearse and shoot it as if you're performing on stage for a theater, and that takes commitment, and I appreciate that commitment. I don't know how long they trained or how long they took to prepare for the role, but from what we gather from their interviews and behind the scenes that the social media has posted, we now know that they took about 6 months to rehearse before they actually shoot, and that is commitment. 6 months is a long time to do the same thing over and over again, and I very much appreciate
Usually, is it shorter?
yeah.
Oh, cool. I mean, like in the Hollywood.
Preparations, yes, they will take a long time, like about 6 months or so. But 6 months for rehearsal, that's quite a lot.
Oh yeah, rehearsal. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mishear that. So rehearsal that was very long.
Yep. Okay. So, anyways, I appreciate the cameos of the big stars. Like, they don't take away the spotlight of the movie. They don't take away the spotlight of the young actors because their roles are very short but prominent. Yes.
Plus, they all take the big ranks, so the big rank doesn't really do the job.
Yeah,
The small soldiers, they
we'll
become
do
their puppet.
the dirty work.
They do exactly what they need to do. Talk
Yes.
people, so somebody else do it.
Yes. So moving on to some notable scenes. So for me, probably the scene that I remember most and kind of shocked me the most is when Schofield dipped his wounded hand, into a dead body on the no man's land. Oh my god. Disgusting, and that's why it latched on to me the moment. And basically the whole no man's land sequence, I love it. And by now many of us has watched the behind the scene of the movie. I'm sure we can now appreciate the whole process of making the night scene at the small French town. We all know that they built probably the biggest lighting rig, and they had to time all the flares, which is not flares, just lightings that goes up, and the whole effort that is put into making up that scene. And that scene is very beautiful. You can see the only lighting source that they have is the flares, and that makes the scene to be so beautiful because you can see the shadows, you can see how Schofield is hiding behind the buildings, and the shadow plays are making a very, very huge impact on the scene.
Yeah, I mean, in that time, it's cute when they make that small model with that metal thing just for the flag.
Yeah.
I mean, they made that small model just to know, oh, the flash should move like this. How can you know where the flare moves? But yeah, I mean, that's just show how
the commitment that is put into
they made the model just for the flare.
Yeah.
Come on, man. But yeah,
what are some of the notable scenes for you?
For me, I love when of course I love when Blake died. I mean, like I said, I knew you're gonna die in the movie. Like, I've seen his in Game of Thrones, in The King. They both died. One of it he killed himself. Another one he kills himself for his stupidity. But this one he killed himself for maybe a little bit about his stupidity.
Trying to
save a German soldier. I mean, who does that? And then he got stabbed in the stomach. And then
he was just trying to be kind.
Yeah, I mean, I love that scene because here the way he changed his emotions. Like sometimes, at first he tried to convince Schofield, don't be sad. Death is a normal thing in the war. And then in the same scene, he's like, what happened? Am I dying? I don't want to die. Yeah, but you'll understand when you see that scene. And also another one, I like this shooting scene in the small town. Yeah, in the shooting scene where he first met the sniper. I'm not sure if it's the sniper. Yeah, the German sniper. He get to kill the German sniper in the end, but also the German sniper get to shoot him, and then he falls to the stairs, and then a total blackout. Because the movie, the way the angle of the camera,
I think that is the only notable cut in the movie.
Yes, the only notable cut. I mean, like when you follow the character for so long, and then they cut it, and then I think for me the moment they cut it is too long. So you're like, all right, what happened now? But yeah, I love that.
I think that's the impact of it. They purposely make it slightly longer, making the audience a bit uneasy, a bit on the edge, like what's going on, and then continue the journey. It basically gives us a rest. I like it because we're following the journey of those two soldiers, and in the end we all just follow Schofield. Like when he's under stress, we also feel under stress. When he's resting, we are resting too. When he's drinking, we felt like,
Alright, so now it's time for Seriously. Let's have a look.
Seriously for 1917. Sections of the film were shot in and around Low Force on the River Teesdale in June of 2019. The production staffs had to put up signs warning walkers in the area not to be alarmed by the bodies thrown around the site. Tom Holland was in talks for the role of Lance Corporal Blake, but turned down the role due to schedule conflicts. The opening and closing scenes of 1917 both shows Lance Corporal Schofield sitting against a tree. This was done to create two bookends of the film, but also to give a feeling of a journey being completed.
Alright, we're back. Alright, I hope you find that interesting for 1970. Alright, now for our last segment.
Serial meters. We should have a song for it.
Yeah, serial meter. Now we're gonna work it out. That's terrible. So moving on.
For the first one, the storyline, we gave them a point of the mark of 78%. Yep.
Yeah, storyline. I mean, we have a different a different opinion on the matter. So hence the mark. So for the storyline. So for acting performances, we give them 83% because they deliver such a good emotions in the movie. I mean, they done a great job. So hence the marks. So
For how do we feel about it? We felt great. So so for how do we feel for 1917, they get a 93%.
So for total serial meter, we gave them 85%. Woo! So lastly for me, I say you should consider watching 1917 if you want to
Catch it on
experience.
IMAX if you want, if you can. I know for a fact some people actually felt dizzy, probably motion sickness, experiencing motion sickness in the movie, and they had to get out after 1 hour. Pity you.
Some people, yeah, true.
Pity you, but catch it in the biggest screen you can because
True.
it was optimized for IMAX. The camera they use, the settings they use, and everything else.
We
It was
watch it in
optimized
IMAX.
for IMAX. So catch it on IMAX if you can.
True. And also, like I said, if you want to experience a VR experience without wearing a VR, you should watch this movie. You'll get it when you watch the movie.
Okay, so that's all for 1917. Look forward for our next review for Oscars season. So thank you very much. I'm sorry for all the cuts you have to do. Unfortunately, we failed. Sorry.
See how great his work. It's not that easy.
Yes, even though we're just sitting.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you very much. Look forward to our next video. Follow us on social medias. Like this video, comment, share, and subscribe to us. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
Bye bye.